Hey guys, hello, thanks for joining me today. Alright, today we're going to talk about some easy Oud songs. On the Oud, I'm going to demonstrate a few. You may or may not know, but this weekend doing a pre-sale on a new course. It's going to be 10 easy Oud songs that you can play on the Oud, and this course will be suitable for people who've been playing for Oud for maybe 6 months and up, um, or have finished level 2 of the Oud Foundation program. For now, I'd love to get you guys to write in the comments how long you've been playing Oud, or if you haven't even started, let me know where you're from. Say hello, so I know who I'm talking to, and so that I can cater this to you guys a bit more appropriately. But I'm gonna just listen to some music while you get those answers down in the chat. And I'm gonna talk about the program a little bit, some of my background as well, and then I'll demonstrate some of these songs for you. All right. So yeah, just get comfortable, sit back and relax. All right, hope you enjoyed that. That was a little improvisation in Daska, Persian Daska, called Bayat Torque, if you're interested. All right, let's get down to talking about some easy oud songs. So, I want to talk about my experience um, being an outsider to Arabic music. I was educated primarily in Persian traditional music, and so I was. It was very difficult for me to get exposed to the right type of Arabic music, and it took me many years to really know what songs people are playing out there. What are songs that are effective in your jam sessions and whatnot. And so I created this course for people who are also outsiders to the Arab world, or maybe you are maybe you are an Arab living in America or somewhere in Europe, and you didn't grow up there. Maybe you grew up outside of the Arab world, and you didn't get exposed very much, or you're trying to get connected. And this is a course for you to get acquainted with some of these songs and be able to learn them and play them easily on the oud. Like I remember when I went to the Arabic music retreat, like 4 or 5 years ago, 2016. I was playing in music that interested me, not necessarily music that everybody else knew. So like it was very difficult to kind of go there and be able to like, oh hey, do you know this song? Let's jam this song or something like that. Like couldn't really do that so well because the material that I knew was maybe a bit more obscure, not so much the popular stuff. So it took some time to get exposed to this kind of material. So that's why I'm building this course. It's going to be 10 easy oud songs, and they're going to be in a range of different maqams. So I want to list off a few of them and show you where you can find information about that. And thank you also for writing in the comments where you're from, how long you've been playing the oud. And yeah, let me know throughout this if any questions come to mind. I'm going to try to answer all your questions at the end of this. So please write any questions you got. All right, one moment here. Okay. So here's where you can see some of the songs we're going to talk about. You can enroll in the pre-sale. The course content will be available at the end of May. Currently building it all, writing out the notation for these songs, making them easily digestible for a beginner oud player. And these are songs that I chose because they sound better at a beginner level. They sound good at a beginner level. There's some songs that you need to have a high technique, high level for in order to make them sound nice, full. But these are songs that I chose that you don't have to be a super technical player to play them. So check that link out. And so 10 of the songs that we're going to do. For one, we're going to do Halalaleya, which is a nice, sweet Egyptian song. All these songs have been covered by many different artists. Ar-Rozana, this is another traditional folk song known throughout the Levant and greater Syria area. Nasam Alayna Al-Hawa, this is another classic sung by Feyruz. Another one, this one looks like one of the videos. I need to update the link to it. Ya Banat El Iskandariya, this is also known as Uskudara Giderkin. in Turkish. This is a song that all cultures seem to want to call their own. It's a melody that is probably very old, and eventually the lyrics were changed according to the language. Different poetry was put on it. That's a very good one. Another few classics we're gonna do: Yamal Sham, Fawq al-Nakhl, Qatuk al-Mayas, Raqsat al-Kamal. And I've added another song that comes from the from more Mediterranean side, the Greek side, Hanau Makia. And then we're gonna do another song that's sung by Feiruz, Marmar Zamani. This song, I chose it because it's in Makam Sika, and Sika is one of these makamat that you need to get exposed to eventually. It starts on a quarter tone, which might be very different from other songs that you start with as a beginner oud player. So these songs are going to be in Hijaz, Jaharka, Ajam, and Bayati, and Sika. So these are great songs. And what's going to be in the course, there's going to be step-by-step video lessons, digital notation, recordings of me playing the songs as well. And there's going to be different variations. There's a few different ways that you can play the melody depending on how you want to make it sound. And they're all going to be accessible as a beginner. So right now, for the next, until Sunday midnight, you can get the course at pre-sale price for $39.99. That'll be limited time only. It'll be ending. That pre-sale price will be gone at the end of Sunday night, Pacific time. So yeah, I'm really excited to do this course because it's going to be really accessible material, and it'll expose you to a whole bunch of different maqams. Oh yeah, there's one. Forgot one maqam rast, which is very important. So I want to demo some of the songs that I'm going to be doing. I'll just demo a few of the songs, the ones that I like. Let's see here. So I want to show you Hanau Makia. This one is such a fun song. It's in Maqam Bayati. And the reason I know of it now, I knew of it for a long time, but I just didn't know what it's called. But one of my students was interested in learning this tune, and so I transcribed it for him, and he because of him now other people can learn this song too, and so here it is. This is how it goes. It's in Maqam Bayati. Kind of Maqam Bayati. It's made the quarter tone sounds a little bit different in Greek music. It's a little bit sharper, but I like to play it with just normal Arabic intonation. So just so you know, as usual, I'm using my standard tuning that I always use: C, G, D, A, F, and C. Alright, I'm going to play it as naturally as I do, and then I'll play it, let me play it simple, and then I'll play it as naturally as I do. you can play it very simply with very nice, relaxed kind of technique and style. And this is what you'd play it at a more advanced level, just to give you some inspiration of how you can get it to sound. So that's with a little bit of ornamentation. And let's do Vogel Nachal. This is another great tune that everybody knows. So this one is in Maqam Hijaz. So that is Vogel Nachal. And then another one in Hijaz that I really love. This is known, this melody is played in Kurdish music as well. This melody is also known in the Kurdish music world. Actually, that's the first exposure I had to this song. Back when I was a kid listening to the Kamkar Ensemble. I grew up listening to their music, and they're from the Kurdish region of Iran, a musical family that and they played this song with their Kurdish lyrics on it. Perhaps it's different poetry than the Arabic version, but this melody is also known in the Arab world and very well known. And it goes like this. This one's in a different key. It's in Hijaz as well, but I'm playing it right now in a different key. Maybe in the course I'm gonna add, maybe I'll add like different key versions for Hijaz on D and for Hijaz on G. We'll see. That will give you, show you different positions where you can play this song. tune. So now that's a few of the songs that I wanted to play for you. There's more that you can check out on that page, and that I linked there. I'll link it again here for you, so that you can check it all out. So now I want to answer any of your questions that you might have about learning the oud, and whether it's you're getting into the oud for the first time. I'll go through the chat and answer any questions that you've already asked. And this YouTube live is going to be a little bit shorter than my usual ones. But yeah, hopefully you guys have some questions that you guys want to ask. I'd be happy to answer. Okay, so let's go through here. All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Robert. Thank you, Carol. Thanks, Roddy. Good to see you guys here. Raleigh. This is the natural sound of the oud. I don't have any effect on the mic right now. So it is natural. I'm using a very soft risha to make it sound a little bit warmer. All right. Okay, so somebody has a question about repair. So your oud has a small crack, 1 inch long, in the varnish on the back of the peg box. So where to go to get it fixed? I would go to a violin repair. Don't take it to a guitar repair, unless they're willing to, or they're very good. Because they might just not want to touch the instrument just because it's foreign to them. But a violin, I've had more luck with violin repair because they're not so afraid of a fretless instrument. And the pegs, the peg box and everything, it's more familiar to them. It's not like guitar pegs and whatnot. The crack, you have to check the crack. If the crack is just on the varnish, that's okay. But if the crack is actually in the wood, then you can get it checked out and see if anything needs to be done about it. Usually what they'll do is they'll insert some glue into the crack, and then they may clamp it for a while and make sure that it gets nice and sealed. It may not be a big issue. Ouds can sometimes have cracks along the soundboard, which are not a problem. It's just easy repair. Put some glue in there, and they let it settle. That's basically it for these kind of hairline cracks. So yeah, get it checked out by violin repair. That's your best bet. All right, let's see here. Thanks for joining, Carol, Robert, Raleigh, Roddy, Ayad. Thanks for joining. Okay, Murnell, what specific skills would a beginner need to develop in order to benefit from this new course? So you need to get to the point where you can play 16th notes. That's a really good question. So you got to master, first of all, playing most of the notes in the range of the oud. So you got to know from the low F string, the G with the second finger here. I'll try to make this obvious in the camera. You should know the notes on the main strings and be able to play in one position. I think all these songs are going to just be in position 1. So very straightforward, easy, down-to-earth playing. And then, so you need to know that until about switching. You may need to know some notes up here, the D, maybe get into second position where you're able to reach F with your pinky finger. So that's for the left hand. For the right hand, you need to be able to play good strong downstrokes and be able to switch between strings very easily. Play some scales maybe. You need to know a few different scales or maqamat, like Hijaz. You don't need to know them per se, but because I'll be showing you where the notes are in the course, of course, and how to play it, what finger positions to use, but also eighth notes, being able to play them with downstrokes. So, for example, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and all downstrokes. Also, playing them down, up as well. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and so forth and so forth. Also, it's very helpful if you can play some 16th notes as well. So, for example, 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and so you can practice this all on one string, for example, to get the right hand in shape, and then you can try to apply that to like different notes in a scale. For example, let's say C major scale, you want to play 16th notes. So you need to be able to play some alternate picking. But most of these songs can be played mostly with downstrokes. That's the default stroke pattern is downstrokes for the oud. The eighth notes and the quarter notes, we're going to be able to play all the repertoire with downstrokes. But 16th notes is where you may need to play some alternate picking. There's not going to be that much in the course, so it's going to be still very beginner friendly. But for example, in Qaduk al-Mayas, what I was playing there had some 16th notes runs, which are the most challenging, probably in the whole course. There was this part here. So you need to be able to play down, up, down, up, down, up, down, and be able to play down, up when you're changing a string. That's an easy thing to start working on from today. All you need to do is take one downstroke on the G string, one upstroke on the D string, and just keep doing this. Keep practicing this, do it a little bit every day. It'll pay dividends for your oud playing, because you'll be doing stroke patterns like that, where you're changing strings and you're playing down up patterns completely. So those are very good questions about what you'll need. Okay, what regional style was I playing in? I was playing in a Persian style in my improvisation at the very beginning. All right. Yeah, thanks so much, guys, for who have already joined. It really means a lot to me. I really appreciate it, and I hope you'll enjoy the course. Do I know or recommend Yemeni songs? I recommend listening to any type of music that uses the oud. Yemeni music is quite beautiful. They play a very regional style of music. It's very folky. And they may use a more limited number of maqamat than, let's say, the classical styles that you see in Syria and whatnot. Very beautiful singing style as well, and the rhythms are very specific too. I don't know a lot of Yemeni music, but I do appreciate it and I do enjoy some of it. Yeah, so I do recommend listening to it. There are a few YouTube channels out there that feature Yemeni music. So thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed the oud. There's a question about how much it costs. So this oud costs 2,500 American about, and it's quite a top quality instrument. So it's a pretty decent price, I think. It's quite a fair price, I think, for the quality that it is. Definitely one of the best ouds that I've played, and I really enjoy the sound. I like the playability is just excellent. So it costs around 2,500 American, but it's top-notch quality. So Jacques, thanks for joining today. You're curious to know if the songs will be played with ornamentation or just plain. So it's going to be more on the plain side. But if you do, or if you're interested in that, and if enough people are interested in me showing some ornamentation, I don't want to get the course to be too advanced because these are easy Oud songs. But if enough people want a little bit of ornamentation, then I'd be happy to include that in the course. So send me an email. Well, I know I've heard from you. Let me know in the chat or by email if you would like to learn some ornamentation. I'll try to see what simple ornaments I can add that are not too difficult for a beginner. But yeah, there'll always be options. So like you can learn it the simple way. If I do it this way and add some ornamentation, you'll always be able to learn the simple way, and then I'll show you some ornaments if you're interested in that. All right. Okay, so we got some questions. Just a way to hang on. Let me catch up here. Is it better to learn one song at a time or practice different songs together? I'm not sure what you mean by that, but definitely when it comes to practicing and learning, learn one song until you can be able to play it from beginning to end without stopping very much. It doesn't matter that you get it to the fastest speed possible to play that song, but it's important that you develop a groove and be able to play a song at a very decent pace and play it all the way through without stopping. That's important, I think. And once you learn one song like that and are able to play, then by all means move on to something else. But you may run out of focus if you don't play a song at least 80%, 90% level and you move to something else. When you come back to that song and try to play that song, the song you learned before, you may not have really fully internalized it. So when people practice, I always recommend that you do some warm-up for a few minutes, and then you review material that you know better, that you know well. So let's say you practiced Vogelnachel very, very nicely. You're able to play it from top to bottom without stopping. Maybe you can't play it so fast, but you can play the whole song. Then review it, and then learn new material. If you review it, and that's also a warm-up, but also what it does is gives you confidence that you can play it. It solidifies it in your memory for you. And then you go on to learn new material. You're going to be in a better shape to learn and digest new material. All right, Omar, thanks for your question. I have difficulty using the fourth and fifth fingers on the left hand. How do I know that my hand position is right? So that's a good question. It really needs to... I need to see exactly how you're playing in order to know what you're doing and see if you're doing something right or wrong. There are generally, for most of the oud music that you can play, there are two main positions. What I call the first position, so every semitone per finger. So for example, C sharp, or do diez, first finger. Re, second finger. Mi, third finger. And then that's mi bemol, third finger. And then mi bekar, fourth finger. So this is the first position. So C, C sharp, D, E flat, E natural. You can do that on all the strings. That is one valid position. Now sometimes you need to be able to reach the high F note here on the C string. So for that you need to be in the second position, where you're where your first finger is going to hit the D note on the C string, Re, La or A, Mi or E, and then B natural. You know, this area here, this second semitone that you have on the oud. So then your pinky finger can reach F natural there, like that. So that's important to be able to know those two positions. And for some maqams we use different positions. For example, for G major and C major scales, I use the second position. Or G major. So I use the second position. For maqams like Nahawand, I use the first position mostly. There's other rules as well. Also for Hijaz, Maqam Hijaz, I also use the first position, and sometimes I switch to second position because sometimes I need to play ornaments with my pinky finger or reach the closed F position here with my pinky. So sometimes you need to choose, you need to change at certain points. For the most part, in most of the music, you can play it in the first position. And for example, your fingers are responsible for certain notes. So let's say the flat notes here, your first finger. For the nus bemol or half flat, the quarter tones, your first finger is also responsible. And depending on if you use second position or first position, the notes in the third semitone position, so C, F, B flat, E flat, these can be played either with your second finger or your third finger. It depends on what's coming and going and where your hand is going, what the melody is. But these songs that I'm going to be teaching are all going to use the first position, without a doubt, because they're supposed to be easy oud songs. Also, you need to be able to use your ear to tell if the note is right. That will help determine if your finger is in the right spot. That's great that you took your oud to Sacramento and he's working on your oud. Dr. Oud, yeah, he's great. He knows what he's doing when it comes to ouds. All right. Let's see if any other questions. Okay, is there any way to tune guitar to oud sound? You can tune a guitar strings to an oud tuning, but it doesn't really help you very much. You can learn some of the maqams, but they won't sound like they should anyway. So I recommend if you do want to tune a guitar to an oud tuning, then what you should do is tune your E string to an F, and then you will have A, D, G. So those three strings, A, D, G, will be the same. And then you would have, you tune your B string to, C. And then your high E string, you can tune it to F. This is like the oud high F tuning. But this is not going to really help you because guitar is just a different instrument, a different feel. You can't play all the notes. You can't play the microtones on guitar, unfortunately. So it may not help you to really appreciate the oud. But yeah, you can tune a guitar like an oud. Yeah, try it out. See if it works for you. Do I humidify my ouds? Yes, I do. I do use a humidifier when it's too dry. This winter was very dry, so I do use a humidifier in the room. Um, yeah, it depends on also if you don't have a humidifier, you can also buy one of these guitar humidifiers. It's just a sponge that people put in their guitar cases. They wet it a little bit. You put it in the guitar case, put the guitar in the guitar case, and then it will keep the wood moist in there. You can buy that from any music shop. You should be able to anywhere online. Um, those may or may not work for the oud because depending on what type of case you have, it might not fit in your oud case. So there's some considerations there. But yeah, I do use a humidifier. Do more people use the fa to fa tuning, or do more use do to do? So that's a good question. I think in the last maybe 20 years, the fa fa tuning has become very popular. So the high, I like to call it the high F tuning sometimes. It's become really popular because of Nasr Shama. Nasr Shama was able to start the Beit al Oud in Egypt, Dubai, and other countries. And that's the tuning that he uses. However, some of the other players in Egypt and Saudi Arabia, they may use only 5 courses, or they may use the do tuning. 5-course oud would have either fa or sol in the bass, and then the high C, and no low bass C string. So there, among other players like Simon Shaheen's style of playing, Palestinian players, they're using do to do. I prefer that tuning as well. I never really got much of a taste for fa to fa tuning. I don't really enjoy it so much. I don't know why. I do sometimes like some of the material in that, but I don't really enjoy so much. Anyway, it is a valid oud tuning nonetheless. Okay, all right. So if without further ado, if you don't have any more questions, thank you so much for joining. It was really good to see you here, and I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. Again, here, if you're interested in the course, check it out here. Here, let me give you the secure link. There it is. If you have any questions about oud playing, you may always email me at my email address, support@oudforguitarists.com. Happy to respond to any email questions you have. And also, if you feel like you're in a point where you want to get some specific direction on your oud playing, or you feel like you need some private instruction, I also do private lessons. And you can check out my calendar and all the details about my lessons at this link here. That's where you can also book the lessons. If you're not sure if you want to take oud lessons, but you want to get some advice maybe, or you're not sure if this is for you, want to try it out, then I also do have a calendar where you can book a consultation with me, and we can talk about things like that. Yeah, I'm almost at my maximum capacity for oud students, so but there's some time, a little bit available on my calendar, so check those out if you're interested. And thanks so much again for joining me today, and hope to see you guys in the course, and have a lovely evening and the rest of your Sunday. All right, thanks. Bye.